Just enjoyed the weekend.
It's a great weekend. Always nice with the Saturday win. You get Sunday to enjoy it and have a bit of downtime, which is great. But yeah, you move on pretty quick.
What do you do with your medals?
Got a little tub at home that they're sitting in, but yeah, not a heap to be honest.
So it's just literally not on display, just in.
Nah, not on display at the moment. Nah, I don't think I'd ever put any on display while I was still playing. Maybe afterwards, there's a bit of reflection after I finish up, but no, they're in a box tucked away somewhere.
What is it about the derbies that makes you live though?
I'd like to think that I don't lift to kind of the game or anything. I just like to think I repeat the way I play week in, week out, and that's something that I've worked pretty heavily on with my mental skills and work with sports psychologists and whatnot, and that's a big focus. Is when we do get to grand final day, whenever that is, I don't feel like I want to be able to have to lift to that occasion. I want to, every time I train, every time I play, I want to be doing it at that level and that intensity that I'm ready to go when that time comes.
Sports psychologist, has that been a consistent thing from juniors all the way through, or is that something new you've done?
Nah, that's in the lead up to last year. I kind of touched on it a fair bit at the end of last season and credited a lot of the improvement in my game and the consistency to that work that I've done, and it hasn't changed. That's stayed pretty consistent throughout the last 18, 24 months. So continue to work in that space. I think a lot of guys across the league are probably investing more and more time in that as we go along, and I've been no different. I've found a great improvement in my own game in that space.
Is that actually more important now than a lot of the fitness and skill, like just getting your head ready for the pressure that's going to come?
It's just as important, no doubt. I think you can have the physical side of the game down pat, and then the mental side, if that isn't at the same level or doesn't contribute in a positive way, it can affect the way you play, no doubt. And for me, I felt like leading into last year, my high level stuff was at a level that I thought I could be a really high level contributor at AFL level, and I just didn't do it week in, week out, and that was something that I wanted to go to work on and be a consistent player, and that's something that I really pride myself on, is being able to show up the same week in, week out, no matter the context, no matter the opposition. And I feel like as a group, that's something we're striving for as well. So, I credit a lot of the work and the improvement in my game to what I've done in that space.
How fresh are you feeling physically, Caleb? Long season, obviously. We know you've had that forward rotation going on. Is it keeping you fresh?
It's a bloody physical game on the weekend, so sort of day. But from a general point of view, I think I'm in a really good space. And last week, it was a 6-day break, quick turnaround, felt really good going into the game, and obviously got an 8-day break this week, so a bit of a longer break, a few more days for recovery. So from a general holistic point of view, feeling really good and really excited to launch into the back part of the year, because you can get to this point of the year sometimes, and I've experienced it, and you're pretty banged up, you're pretty sore, you're kind of waiting for the end, but I definitely don't feel like I'm in that space. I feel like I'm feeling as good as I did around 5 as I do now. So, I'm in a good space, I think.
Is that rotation having a similar impact for your other midfielders, do you think?
I think so. I don't know exactly the specific impact it has, but I know that when we're in there on game day, we're fresh and we're ready to go, and it's definitely contributing to our intensity in there. And I feel like it's helping the team as well. I don't think JL would let us do that if it was negatively affecting the way we're going about it, and if we were getting intercept marked against and we were getting smashed down there when we go forward. So I think we're having an impact when we go down there, and that's only helping the group. But yeah, credit to the forwards. They're putting us exactly where we need to be, and they're helping us a lot down there, the leaders down there. So it's making it a lot easier for us to go down there and just play footy and not think too much about what we need to do. But I feel like, as a midfield group, you're seeing Andy now kind of physically starting to feel like he's in a really good space, and that's just contributing to what he's doing on game day. Like, his last 6 weeks been amazing, and you can see that he's getting a lot more trust in his body, which is great.
Your midfield might look a bit different this week than that going to the tribunal tomorrow night. How worried are you about, you lose Matt Johnson as one out, potentially Fife as another out, and suddenly the consistency of what you've had isn't there?
Yeah, you're right. We've had a really consistent group kind of be there and be available throughout the year. And obviously the ruck situation's kind of, Sean's been in and out a little bit and Luke's been in there. But as a midfield group, we've been pretty consistent. And hopefully I'm counting on Fifey getting off, and hopefully he's out there with us on the weekend. He's been a great contributor to us and role player over this whole season. And Jono hopefully hopefully he's back in the next week or two as well, and he's tracking along nicely. But I think for us, we've got a next man up mentality. We've got Neil Erasmus and Will Brodie in the waffle that are playing some serious footy, and they have all year, and they're just waiting for an opportunity. They're tonguing at the bit. So if they get an opportunity, they'll be doing everything they can to play a role for the team and do what they need to. And if it's someone else coming up and playing a little bit inside time, Switter's done that. Luke Jackson's played a little bit inside time. So if we need to mix the magnets around, everyone knows the role and everyone can contribute. But I feel like we've got the guys there in the stable ready to go if we need to.
What was your reaction when you heard Nat's name is being suspended? Like you wouldn't have seen the...
No, I didn't see it. I was a bit surprised. I didn't see it. I knew there was going to be a lot of fines coming out of the game, but I didn't realise there was going to be any suspensions. So didn't have a good look at it, and even the vision, I couldn't really see it. So hopefully all goes well and he can get off and he can fight it. But we'll leave that to the lawyers.
Caleb, you talked about the physicality of the game outside the melee. That's a separate issue, but that's a sort of the physicality is what you're looking for at this time of season. You don't want to be having like soft opponents and soft wins. You want to really be pushing yourselves heading into finals.
Yeah, it was a finals-like game. Like credit to West Coast, what they brought in the contest with their pressure and team defence was high level. It was high level, and it was something that we thought would happen. We thought that was what they were going to bring, and I felt like I was really proud of the way that we dealt with it. And the first quarter, probably there was a few times where we didn't deal with it super well, but then our ability to adjust in game and I guess come out in the second quarter, and whilst it didn't turn on the scoreboard straight away, we felt like that second quarter we played the game the way we wanted to, and then come the third quarter we felt like we busted it open with our footy and our commitment to the contest and just continuing to I guess smash that and just trust what we do and what we can bring to the game really in that contest space. But yeah, credit to them, they brought a high intensity game, and that's, you're right, that is what we want to do and what we want to be exposed to this time of year, because come the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, every team's got everything to play for, and the next few opponents, they're all in that race for finals in the same boat as us, and it's going to be high intensity, it's going to be high quality games, and that's something we're ready to embrace and enjoy.
The way you're moving the footy at the moment, Caleb, and using your handball, do you feel like you're in a good space as a team with the way you're doing that through the corridor? Yeah,
it's been an intent for us to do that for a while. And if you look at the amount of handballs we've had compared to kicks over the last few years, it's what we want to do. We want to use our numbers. We feel like we're a high work rate team that support contests, and then from that we feel like we outnumber at those contests, and we want to use our numbers, because otherwise we're just going to kick it back to their numbers if we just kick it back. So we set the ground up to be able to drive to the corridor and use our numbers and really take the game on with that space and driving our legs. And I feel like what you're seeing now is the result of a lot of hard work throughout the pre-season, a lot of hard work with touch, ball handling pre-season and I guess during the week, but then also just a mindset of really trusting ourselves and embracing that it's not going to work all the time, but the damage and the aggressive attitude that we're bringing to that space is it's going to pay off more often than not, and it's going to create some really damaging looks for us. So we understand we're going to do it, and it's not going to pay off all the time, especially those high-pressure games, but we felt like on the weekend was a good example of when it starts to turn, those looks that we got in the third quarter, a result of us continuing just to trust our game plan and trust what we want to do, and that's a big part of it.
Be good to get on the MCG this weekend?
Always good to get on the G. We love it. Any opportunity we can get there. It's only a couple of years, so we really embrace it and look forward to getting out there and running out in the Hello Turf, so we can't wait.
100 games for you this weekend. Have you had time to reflect on that milestone?
Not really. My partner is coming over. My fiancée, is coming over, and she's been planning like a dinner and stuff and whatnot, and trying to get family to the game and everything. She's been trying to plan it for like last week or so, and I have not allowed myself to even go there without focusing on the game in front of us and the derby on the weekend. And she's been getting quite frustrated that I can't plan or I can't look forward or look ahead to it. So now that we're there and we're in the week and looking forward to it, I'm looking forward just to seeing family, seeing friends, and to be honest, it's just another game, but it's a nice little milestone along the way.
On the weekend, you, for the 70th time in a row, recorded 20 plus disposals in a game. It probably goes back to what you were speaking about earlier with your consistency, but have you got any rhyme or reason into the actual numbers behind your game and how you've been so consistent there?
Nah, not really. I think, like I said, I want to show up the same week in, week out. No matter the context, no matter the opposition, no matter the ground, I just want to be the same version of myself week in, week out, and feel like I'm growing in that space, and I'll continue to grow, but I feel like that's been something that holds me in really good stead. And yeah, I guess this year's there's a few different challenges that have been thrown up around getting tagged and a few bit more attention around stoppage and whatnot, and had to work through that, and it's been really challenging at times. But the support I've had from my teammates and the other midfielders, it's a great midfield to be a part of, and I think we're all having great impact, and we all impact in different ways, and we're all different players. But the support and the support we have from those guys, and having Sean hit it down your throat all the time is makes it a fair bit easier to play as a midfielder at the moment.
I guess very early on in your career, and this is years ago, but you were the one doing the tagging and sort of learning that craft. Do you feel like that's helped your game and the elite running patterns and everything that's gone into where you are now?
It definitely helped, yeah, no doubt. I learned a lot from that, playing on some of the best players in the competition. I learnt so much, and really appreciative for that opportunity. And at the time it was really hard and really tough and challenging, and preparing for those guys as a 19-year-old coming up against Marcus Bontempelli and those kind of guys. It was quite nerve-wracking and daunting, but learnt so much and made so many mistakes, but also learnt from those mistakes and grew as a player and as a person. And I think you're right, it does hold me in good stead, but there's also things that I've learnt this year that I didn't know, and I will continue to grow and be a student in. And I think that's a big mindset that we've got as a group, but I try and take as an individual, is no matter what you do on the weekend, or no matter where you're at or how well you're playing or how bad you're playing, just continue to be a student and continue to try and grow every day and get better. And that's something that I've really tried to focus on this year with those challenges, because it's been tough. Some weeks you walk out there and you're getting someone run with you the whole time, and you feel like you can't get near it or you can't have any impact on the game. And those challenges, and I guess understanding how to manipulate that and be a better player for the team, and how I can impact the team, not just as an individual by getting the ball, but how I can help the teammates around me, has been a big growth piece for me this year.